What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to the Transfer View. Happy Thursday. Nearly the end of the week, man. It's nearly the end of the week. It is Thursday, which does usually mean something, supposedly, according to this man here, Mr. KG on the far right. It is Thursday. Just really quickly before we intro the show and talk about what we're going to talk about and get into it. Expecting any big news today? What's
Well, tier 9 as tier 9 journalists, you notice big quotes come out on Thursday. I wasn't surprised. I knew everyone was going to wake up to these quotes. They were on my desk yesterday night. Yeah, so we're here. And let's talk to you guys. But yeah, tier 9, I think I've got up to tier 7 because it was Thursday and we're hearing news.
100%. We are hearing news today. We're going to talk about Sir Jim Ratcliffe speaks out. He's had enough of all the lies. He's had enough of all the propaganda, and he's spoken out. We're going to talk about that when he was at a book signing yesterday with his NDA where he's not allowed to talk, but he spoke anyway. New Onana bid. We're going to talk about that. Mason Mount gets the number 7. A lot of people had their say on this yesterday. Some people couldn't give a toss. Some people couldn't care less. And some people were outraged and some people were in the middle. 2 more signings. Are we going to see 2 more signings coming in? And McTominay to Roma. That would be such a Jose. That would be such a Jose. Matic and McTominay back to... That is so
and Smalling.
Jose. And Smalling. Jose's the best. Jose's the best. But we're here for that. So, yes, let's just get straight into it. Sir Jim Ratcliffe speaks out. Owen, what did he say and what does it mean? And let's get into it.
Can I just say, now, before you ignore all this kind of stuff, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about what just happened before we went live. Because I feel like we need to. You can try and go straight into the takeover news as much as you want, yeah. And KG, first of all, wants to get me fired because whilst this was going on, KG went, I'm begging you go live. I'm begging you go live early. Press the button, Aaron. Press the button.
Look. This is what he said to us. This is
move it in your box. Move it in your box a bit more. That was on Flex's wall.
And that was on Flex's
wall. Was.
And then he goes like this. He goes.
We were chatting. We're going. So yeah, we're just going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then literally, he went like this. Real life.
It was. Then he started talking himself up and he goes, I've got to be a man. I've got 3 minutes before the show starts. I've got to do something.
Yeah. I had to. Listen, you lot know, the community knows, and this is what's brilliant about this. The community knows how I feel about spiders. They know how I feel about them.
Don't get involved. Let me and Owen talk, bro. And then after, what do you call it? Owen's got into his pundit bag. How many legs did he have on that spider?
It had 6, 7, 8 legs.
8,
9, 10, 11, 12 eyes. He's like, nah, I've got work.
And then me and do you know what happened? Because we look up to him, and this is actually our boss right now. And we're gonna say, before that spider, we looked at ourselves and we kept it real. We said, listen, are we?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I wasn't sure. You didn't set me up for this very well.
You might have to rehearse this.
I was thinking, KG's going with this. Oh well, yeah. I said Flex is less of a man now. Previously, do you remember when you were a man?
He was special. There you go.
Well, and also as well, Flex, we was really worried. He was looking at the spider. He's going, is it venomous? We're thinking here
it could have been killed.
It was that serious.
Fleck Parker settings.
Anyway, let's go. Let's be.
No, but this is all true. Not the bit about the venomous bit. Owen's added that for effect, but the whole story is true.
Honestly,
the whole story. I was in mid conversation and I looked up there to my right and saw that. You just saw the picture that KG showed the people one more time. Sorry, not spoiler alert. What is it if it's images, distressing images, whatever you want to call it, if you're scared of spiders?
Little KG.
Wait. Where? Is it there?
Listen, you're right. You're right.
My right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my God. So can I just say?
Wait, hold on 1 second. If that spider bit you, would you become like Spider-Man, like
Miles
a Jamaican one?
Miles Morales. I would have been Miles Morales.
A Jamaican one.
Miles Morales.
What would that sound like? Flex?
You even wipe the sack up, chewing. Mad slide tackle saving the day, fam.
But ask me where it is now. Where is it?
In the Hoover.
No.
In toilet.
Hoover. Don't lie.
In toilet.
This is what I don't like about you. Give me my props for facing something, because I saw you trying to get over tickling. No. You're a little wimp. No.
I did at the end. Did you see the whole video?
Yeah, well, but there you go. So what I'm saying is, give props to the people who come over their fears, because you just did it. You had to lie back and get tickled by a 6-year-old daughter. Nah.
Believe.
Anyway.
All right, let's go.
Because people haven't logged in to see, spiders. Some people got some serious phobias, and I'm one of them, so we shouldn't really be. Apologies, guys. We've got a show to do. Speaking of spiders and bugs and insects and rats, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what did he say?
Well, yes. As mentioned, he was at like a book signing or a book event. And obviously, he was asked a lot about the Manchester United takeover. And he said the following, quote, "I've signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't say too much, but there is still a process, and we are in the process. We have a good offer, and I've met with the Glazers a couple of times. We have had good discussions with them. We would still very much like to do it, and we would be doing it for the right reasons. But in the end, it's their decision, not our decision. Teams don't come around very often. There are some special teams, and the value of them tends to go up. The value of teams like this one is very special and rare, like art," which is not the first time he's used that art analogy.
Yeah, he always says that one.
It continues by saying, "It is one of our key interests. Get the lads in the pub."
Mate.
Yeah, get the lads in the pub, and football is one of 2 or 3 subjects we ever talk about. It's football. We've worked really hard all of our lives. Now we've made a bit of money, so you're allowed to have some fun, so long as it is sensible economically. He was also asked about would they add Ineos to the sponsorship of the stadium, whatever, and he said, "I haven't really thought of that. That would be hearsay, blah, blah, blah." But also a little bit to add to that from the Times this morning, Matt Dickinson is saying that there are doubts about the Qatari bid and its funding from those within the Manchester United sale process. It remains to be seen what the Glazers will do to end the stalemate, but investors in the Manchester United A shares listed on the New York Stock Exchange have been putting pressure on the board's directors to opt for the Qatar bid, which is for 100% of the club. The Glazer family are believed to be trying to work through the issues on the board. So kind of what David Hellier was saying last week, saying that the minority shareholders are saying, we want you to accept the Qatari bid. But quite interestingly, at the end there, they're saying the Glazer family are trying to work through those issues. So maybe the Glazers are going back to them going, about that lawsuit, do you really want to do it? Do you really want to do it? So KG, I'll start with you. What do you think about all of Sir Jim's comments there? That he's signed an NDA, but he's kind of talking a little bit about it. Is this desperation? Is this him being in the dark? What say you?
I think it's a complete joke, to be honest. I think you got to look at the quotes and you got to look at things that he's almost saying, right? He's talking about art. He's talking. This is where it's kind of confusing for me, actually. In one phrase, he's trying to be with the local man, talking about lads down the pub. Then he's talking about buying fine rare art, mate. Which one is it, mate? Are you the man of the Are you the man of the people, or are you I don't understand? And it's let's have fun. Let's have sensible fun. It's no one even goes into fun saying, guys, let's be sensible. Move, man. Everything about him is a contradiction.
Don't want him. That's where we wanted to just get to that bit. Just stop talking. Just get out, man. Just move.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, you're the last person I want to hear from right now. It's even the thing about saying, I want to that line, about bringing Manchester back. It's always small, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's for me, it's just, he's talking to a certain segment of the fan, right? And it's bro, the club's bigger than that segment of the fans, bro. Saying, you're just talking about the man that down the pub and them conversations, bro. This thing has evolved. The pub. Bro, the pub's got Wi-Fi. The pub's not even a normal pub anymore. The pub, what he remembers of the old school pub is not pubbing no more, bro. It's
Richard Arnold's down there. Richard Arnold's down there.
And the pub is changed, bro. I can't stand it, bro.
About that cash.
Bro, I don't know who he's talking to, but it doesn't feel like he's talking to Manchester United on a whole. And then after you say to yourself, wait, mate, like, let's actually unpick some of this stuff. You said you want to bring it back and the locals and stuff. Well, why are you keeping the Glazers there? Because that's what the locals care about. You're going to pull up and forget about the elephant in the room. Everybody wants Full Sail, yeah? And then you're here talking about, I want to have some sensible fun. Mate, do one, please. Sorry.
And also as well, he's talking out some really sort of different parts of it here, because he goes, we'd very much like to do it, and we'd be doing it for the right reasons. We would be doing it for the right reasons, and then 2 seconds later, we've made money, so we want to have a bit of fun. That's not the right reasons. That's not the right reasons for buying Manchester United. A bit of fun. That's crazy that he's saying that. The one thing I would also say as well, where he was saying about we'd still very much like to do it, but ultimately it's not our decision, it's their decision. Does that flex to you? Does that sound a bit, kind of sort of defeatist? Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded, I don't know, man. It was a bit weird, innit? Like, it sounded like it came out of frustration to be like, I have seen all this stuff going on with the Qatar, everyone saying that, this, that, and the other, and all the fans getting happy. I'm still here. I'm still here, though. I'm not allowed to tell you that, but I'm going to anyway. I can't, NDA, so I can't say too much. But then he goes on to say quite a lot, really. Just being in WH Smith, let's say, or flipping Waterstones or wherever it was at a book thing. Like, I think he's trying to reassert himself in the space. And I think you're right. That tone of like, kind of like something to do in my spare time because I'm a billionaire. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, boys and their toys, as they say. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, just gonna have some fun. Like, yeah, it's football, innit? It's by Man United, have some fun with that. It just felt like the wrong tone, because he had the chance. He felt like the wrong tone from the start, like KG saying, from the very first manifesto, the very first, official address that he can put out there that attaches to Ineos and his bid. We read it and we all went, this was before we knew about the Glazer situation. This was just his pitch. And we were like, yeah, mate. That's not really. You had ages to think of what we want to hear, and you put that. That when I read it, that's what I thought. And like KG said, there's a certain demographic of fan who may have loved what he said, but it's like he said, that's not indicative of the whole fan base, and what Manchester United is and stands for, and what makes it what it is. Then he has a chance to kind of double down on. Well, then we find out about the Glazers, and then that's a whole new thing. So he's, public enemy number one because of that. And then he has a chance now to kind of readdress the fans off the record. And again, the choice of words. He's reminded me of like a Harry Maguire when he chooses what to say and he just says the wrong thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, what's kind of crazy is he's never mentioned about the club winning. At that point, as he said, he said, we want to do it for the right reasons because we want to win and all this kind of stuff. And I know last time when they first came out, the Glazers and Rainbow accounts got in touch and sort of said, don't talk too much, guys. We don't disparage what the Glazers are doing. Don't disparage the club. Whatever, fine. But still, like, again, I came across like. I mean, and this is why I think there's a bit of a double standard here. So some accusations towards the Qatari bid is that it's a vanity project. They just want to own the crown jewel of English football, Manchester United. But he's in that same thing said that that's what he wants to do. It's like a fine piece of art. And like any art collector, what do you want to do? I just want to collect it. I want to have the best pieces of art around the world so I can hang it up on my wall and say, I own that. I own that bit of art. And again, like you said, when you're reading that when I was reading that last night, I just went, that's not coming across very well. You know what I mean? It felt like you said, it's just the wrong things to say. And again, I also felt it was quite sort of defeatist, sort of the last ditch of, I'm still in the race, I'm still in it. And everyone's kind of like, but it's been widely publicized that your bid's dead at the moment because they're not going to accept it. They're not going to recommend it. But he is still technically in the process, as one of the reports have said.
Yeah, I just think it's a bit off. I mean, it is interesting to hear him actually speak, because then you think, oh, let me hear what he's going to say. And then he says that, all them thing, and it's like, you just don't get, I don't know. I feel like I could speak for a lot of people on this. You just don't get the vibe from him. Forget like what the bid is, like, and how it's structured and who's going to stay at the football club. That's a separate situation. But even from the things that, okay, well, convince me from you and your personality, then try and bring me in that way to your bid. And I just feel nothing. Like, it just feels empty. I'm just like, I can see what you're trying to do here. You ain't got no intention of. That's just what it is. That's how I feel when I listen to him, or when I hear his type of address. I'm just like, nah. Like, what are you on? You're still not even mentioned. You have got a second chance. You know, you've seen all what's happened. So this is your chance for your own PR spin. You're in control of this moment.
It's off the record. There's certain things you can and can't say, but you know, you can hint at things
from the horse's mouth. If I'm him,
bit of a nudge.
I'm dropping in the stadium. I'm dropping in the investment. I'm dropping it, like dropping the buzzwords. I won't believe you after you've said it, but I'm just saying, if you're Sir Jim, say something, do something. Then
or when he's talking about in the pub, everyone wants to get down the pub and talking about Man United winning. That's what they want to say. You know, winning. We ought to be chatting down the pub, having a chit chat and a pint about us winning trophies and titles. That's what they would want to say. Yeah. But he just doesn't say that. He goes, "Want to be talking about football?"
Someone said, "Bring Manchester back to Manchester." He lives in Monaco, for fuck's sake.
Let me get the super chats out. Whittlebird has gifted 5 memberships. Big up to Whittlebird.
Big up, man. That's a serious one. Thank you so much, man.
For real, 100%. Jaden says, morning, guys, and Mr. Tier 9. How's the bet, guys? Keep in mind, I want both of them to do well, but I bet Mount will have more goal contributions than Bruno next season, and I'll give 30 memberships, 10 up front now. What do you say? Wow. Jaden, that's a big shout.
For what?
Bruno's got more goal contributions. If you're talking about just contributions, he's got more than De Bruyne, more than Odegaard. He's got more than the whole league. So,
and contributions. And realistically, like, if we're talking goal contributions from Mount, it'd be largely assists, you would think, right? I mean, he gets goals, but not at the level of Bruno. But I think it's an interesting bet. Wow.
That is an interesting bet. That is.
Sorry, I'm not in the loop.
Jaden's saying, how's a bet, guys? Keeping in mind, I want both of them to do well, but I bet that Mount will have more goal contributions than Bruno next season, and I'll give 30 memberships, 10 up front now. What do you say?
Jeez. But what do we give him?
That's right. What do we give you?
Lopsided.
What do we give you, Jaden? Yeah. Do you want like a shirt or something, or what do you want back?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I think that's easy money. Or easy membership.
I was thinking up front. Yeah, take the bet.
I'm gonna be honest.
Take the bet.
Yeah. I'll take the 10 up front, and then what? I just have to give 20 back because you already gave us 10. But no, man, Bruno puts up numbers. One thing, you can talk about Bruno's playing style and what it's like on the eye and keeping the ball. But when it comes to putting numbers on the board, that's people call him the stat paddle. It's not just about numbers. But if you're going to try and argue with his numbers, that's the one thing you can't argue with him with. You can say what's he like in the big games, or he doesn't do this, or he doesn't. You can have a conversation about what you want to have a conversation about. But if you try and mention the word numbers and Bruno, he's just going to say he's just going to put his on the table. Like, but yeah, all right, Jaden, let us know. Ahmed says to Jim Ratcliffe comments are just indicative of his defeat and trying to stay relative. The rat is finished. Steve says Bloomberg with loads of laughing emojis. And Aria says, new UV tune, Spider Flex does what a spider can. Spider, where's Yum Dumpling? Look out, there comes Spider Flex. I like it. I'm going to get Josh on it. Kevin says, read the room, Ratcliffe. We do not want you or your crap dual glazer ownership. Ahmed says, so apparently a bit of fun is the right reason to buy United, according to the crack rat. Oh, wow. Crack rat, Jesus. Satchiv says, big up. Is KG going to be at Best of Enemies? Is that today?
I don't think so. No.
NS1, latest member of United View membership. Big up to you. Winters, Qatar talk about making us great again. Sir Jim, fun. Descendant of the That's a good one. That's a good one, Winters. That's a good one. Descendant of the first crack here. It says KG, Maguire and Hendo to stay at the club, Ratcliffe take over, or Goldbridge to tickle you for 5 minutes every day. You can only pick one.
Oh, shit. Wait, go on.
Hashtag tickle you to anger.
Nah, there's no tickling. That's off the table.
Wait.
Hendo's got to stay, mate. What? Hendo?
Maguire and Henderson to stay at the club, and the Ratcliffe takeover as well, or Goldbridge to tick you for 5 minutes every day. You can only pick one.
I'm sorry, guys. So Jim's in. We just need to
let Mark tickle you for 5. Bro, no. You wouldn't even sacrifice for the club.
Nah, blood.
You just said you're past it. You just said you're past it.
No.
Fucking reckless! That's fucking reckless! He's only going to give me up.
He's reckless.
Welcome to the nightstand. No.
No. All right. He says no. He says he'd rather suggest that's this disgrace. You should be putting yourself above things. You should be sacrificing for it.
Honestly, all of that talk about, this is what I would do to get new owners.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. And KG goes, if I'm tickled, it's no.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ray Carl Brown says, I'm sorry. I just don't get the vibes from Ratcliffe. He comes across as a guy that just wants to profit from Man United. Jaden says, I'll let you decide what's equal. I don't mind. Either way, it's all love and positivity, all but the fun. And Jaden has gifted 10 memberships. So Jaden's like full in. Jaden's like, listen, challenge accepted, bet accepted. I'm so confident you decide what's equal when Mason Mount gets more goal contributions than Bruno, because that's what Jaden thinks will happen. So the bet has been accepted. He's activated the clause. The release clause has been activated. Jaden's done it. He's gifted not 5, but 10 memberships. So just away from the bet, Jaden. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
10 people's day with that. Really appreciate that.
Let's state this because I think it's important, because I think there's some people that like are missing it. Like I'm seeing Ryan in the free seats and stuff, and he thinks it's like, you're just being anti Sir Jim, and there's like a more nefarious thing going on. No, it's not that. It's talking about the best bid that's for the club. You're talking about a guy that can buy the club. This is the issue that we have right now. You're taking 50% of the club. The Glazers still stay. A lot of Man United fans do not want the Glazers to stay. It's that simple. We're trying to be done with that model. Now, not only can't do that, but he also has to buy out the B class shares, and he has to buy out the Glazers. Now, that's going to take a long time. Let's forget about stadium, this, that, and the other. And he's leveraging, he's putting debt on Ineos. Now, we're saying there's another bid where they're talking about being the best in class. They're talking about taking us back to winning. And we look at Man City, we look at Newcastle, the world, and unfortunately, them guys are starting to cook. We want them we need that. Now, if Sir Jim could offer that and his dossier stated that, we'd be all up for it. But it doesn't. He still wants to do business with the people that we can't stand, and we couldn't stand them for 15 years. So you talk about bringing it back to Manchester. Well, how are you going to bring it back to Manchester if you're still living there? And when I say still living there, those guys are still the occupants, bro. So get that into your head before you get on this trying to find something else. We're just looking purely at that. Thank you very much. Public service announcement for my man.
Ooh.
Important, nice, it's very important.
No, but it's true though. I think because let's not get twisted. At the beginning of the Jim Ratcliffe's thing, when it was only him there before we knew about Qatar, we were like, "Oh, someone's going to come get the Glazers out." Yeah, so Jim, let's have yeah. It's only once it became evident one bid versus the other, which one is the best for the football club. You go with the one that's the best for the football club.
I'll take the one. Simple. I'll take the one that is way best for Man United. If he's saying, let's say, if that weren't on the table, he said, I'm going to buy this club, did it any other. Well, go true, run it. Like I like it. And again, if you kind of know the club and it's more to you, and you're going to come to every game, absolutely. But that's not what you're offering. That's not been the offer at all, because Man United fans, we saw him out. It was like, please buy the club, and all of a sudden, change. And it's not like he's saying to us, when I get it, this is what I plan to do. I know this is not the best situation. Now we haven't heard about winning once. We haven't heard about being the best. All we heard about is having fun sensibly. That's the last things I've heard from him. So the PR's not PRing right now.
Let's get the rest of the super chats out and then move on to the rest of the topics. We need to make sure we cover all of them. Witterbird says, Owen, who do you believe more? when the McMahon said they want to listen to the fans, also Jim Ratcliffe talking.
Shut up! Shut up!
They're all liars.
What, did the McMahons do that? Is that what they did?
They're just Vincent, man. I could do hours.
Okay.
Him,
yeah.
honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul Ross says, blah blah. Ratcliffe just needs to sod off now. The clown. So Jim, I don't really think I could say that this early in the morning, WJ Barrett. So Jim Ratcliffe's an idiot is basically what he's saying. Glazer win anyway. I feel Qatari. Jackie says, so Jim Ratcliffe talks about art, but who buys half a painting? Kyle Parr says, Ratcliffe is a man of the people. The second bit, again, not trying to get too political. Sachiv says, I'm here for the vibes. So Jim's speech is a PR. Yeah, and even that, he got it wrong. Ted Bake says, shareholders will go legal route over Sir Jim, like what David Hellier was saying. And Nursa, Sir Jim says he's made money, now he wants to have fun. Okay, then why is he not using his money to buy the club? As in all of it. Next up, well, smash the like on the video. We've got just over 2,500 people watching live, which is amazing. Only 300 likes, 310 likes. Come on, guys. Come on. We can do better. We can do better. New Onana bid.
Yes, so the latest when it comes to Andre Onana, quite a lot going on when it comes to this new goalkeeping pursuit. Fabrizio Romano has actually tweeted this morning whilst we've been live, saying that Manchester United will proceed with a new verbal bid for Andre Onana. Conversations will continue with Inter as opening bid worth 40 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons has been rejected. Onana's position is clear, prepared to accept Man United if the two clubs will agree on a fee. According to Sky Sports in Italy, sources close to Manchester United claim that United will make a new bid, as I mentioned, for 44 million for Andre Onana in the next few days. Inter continue to ask for 51 million pounds. What was quite interesting, though, and it's actually David Ornstein was on Sky last night, and he said, quotes, they don't seem to be a million miles away. The offers seem to be verbal right now. The dialogues between John Murto and Inter Milan, with Onana leaving, there is a deal there to be done, which is continually what Romano has said. And now Ornstein has said that the deal is definitely on. There is a deal to be done. I guess the two sides want to do the deal. And now it's just a bit like with the Mason Mount situation. They're trying to find each other somewhere in the middle. So, KG, what do you think about Andre Onana? I mean, we've spoken about him for quite a while now, a few weeks. But does this one, now these verbal bids have gone in, does this one feel like we're definitely going to get him, do you think?
That's our new keeper. It's our new keeper. You know, Man United, there's no real mystery sometimes. Obviously, there's mystery in the Takeover saga, but there's no real mystery, and they've made it clear who they really want. And it's been he's been the standout for a while. We've been hearing his name. And Ten Hag, there's one thing that Ten Hag likes, is working with people he's worked with before. You know, and we shouldn't be surprised. He wants to be sure. You know, Ten Hag he wants a sure thing. He wants to know that, look, you can do what I asked you to do because I've seen you do it. I've told you to follow this instruction and you've done it to the T. So right now, we'll get in a player who can play his brand of football. So I think if they're just like a couple million off, they'll work it out. Probably the add-ons will be crazy, you know. And there is that money that I don't know if they finish paying off the Lukaku deal. So there's creative ways to kind of sort out this deal, basically.
We're getting him. Yeah, I'm doing a KG. I said it yesterday. Andre Onana is going to be a Man United player.
Absolutely.
I know it's flex judge, all of that. Don't say it on this. I haven't felt like that for a while, and I will die on that sword. If it happens, I'm going to get clipped, and people are going to laugh and blame me anyway. So I may as well just say how I feel in this moment. And I've said it for a good few days. And actually, yesterday, I think for me was the breakthrough of what me and Owen were literally saying in the morning, that first of all, we need some of the domestic journalists to get wind of these verbal bids / formal bids. Then they all came to the party later on in that day. Ornstein, Romano, Whitwell, Luckhurst, like unanimous, like hit after hit, like they all came. So when we was all laughing at Damasio, laughing at his credibility anymore, he was the original, who has had some questionable takes since being the original, but he was the original Romano before Romano. You know what I mean? He's the godfather of the thing, but he's not it anymore as he was before. But a lot of the Italian outlets were claiming that this Onana thing is proper, and Man United have verbally agreed. and now all the big dogs have come. That's like the seal of approval that a lot of us needed, including myself, to be fair, that it's in motion. And again, with the numbers that are being, put there, the 40 million euros, 60 million euros, there you go. 50, then you meet in the middle at 50 or 45 plus 5. That's what I think it will be, or 50 all in, whatever they want to do. But Man United are going to have the 5 add-ons like they did with the Mount situation, and make it so that if we do pay the 5 in add-ons, none of us will give a crap, because if we do have to pay it, that means we've been extremely successful. By then we'll have new owners, whoever it is, actually. But by being that successful, no one's going to moan. Do you know what I mean? At having to pay an extra £5 million if Onana's helped us win the Champions League with the Premier League. Who's going to care about that? So that's when you do pay money for stuff, when you actually win shit. So yeah, I'm quite comfortable with this Onana thing. Romano is doing the thing of like, he's getting a towel and the rag, like, and he's just doing that to get every last thing. Like,
there's a couple of quote tweets, isn't there? A couple of quote tweets where it's like quote tweet, as I mentioned earlier, this is happening tomorrow.
It's mad. Like, he'll say verbal things happening, as I said this morning, or like talks due to continue thing. And when you look at the 4 things, I'm like, but that means the same as that, as that means the same as that, and that means the same as this. It's all the same thing. So, but when Romano's in his bag like that, though, that's how you know it's on. Like, look at the Declan Rice one was crazy. Like, here we go, expected soon. Here we go, coming soon. Payment structure. Here we go, imminent. Like, crazy. But
it was the same with Mason Mount, wasn't it? It was the same with Mason Mount. Mason Mount was the same, that whole thing, they're going to meet here, talks next week. Talks will happen this week. It comes the new weeks. Talks are going to happen this week. Talks will happen tomorrow. Then you go, here we go soon. Here we go. Well, actually, the Ornstein one, he actually got he was first actually with that one, wasn't he? The Mason Mount one. But nevertheless, I think to your point, all the signs are there that this one probably is going to happen, isn't it? And actually, I think it does open up the conversation of, have United then made their mind up, or do they kind of have an inclination of which direction they're going to go with David De Gea? Because they're pursuing Andre Onana at this point.
Remember when I said if they pursue and put the bid down, like, remember I was saying they in that little, that little triangle you said there was with the goalkeeper zone with Henderson, De Gea, and Onana. And you're like, well, Man United, although we don't want to hear the fact that Henderson could come back or De Gea is going to stay, we don't want to hear it. But from a business point of view, and how with what Erik ten Hag has to work with the money situation, he needs to be absolutely sure he can get Onana before he says to David De Gea, see you later. And we don't want to hear it, but he does need to be sure he can get his target before he does.
Flex, you're wrong, mate.
Go on.
You don't let someone leave, and then say, need to secure him. That don't make no sense. No one does stuff like that. He's now he's out the door. If you were talking about being safety and this, that, and the other, you would have signed him up before he left on the reduced terms. It wasn't about that. They pushed him out. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine with what's happened in the end. But
there's still an offer for him to stay. It's not like loads of clubs are in for him and you could lose him. There's still an offer there for him to accept.
No, it's good PR because they saw what the sound of the club was. They heard how not like people turned and stuff, but it was like, you can't treat people like this. Now, you had different people coming out saying, what does it mean treat people like this? But end of the day, you had all this time to negotiate. You didn't want him. It's clear. And then saying, we're going to talk to you after when you're on your honeymoon. Are you mad? Like, he's recently married. He ain't talking to you, bro. It just it's a nice thing to say.
But like you said, Dean Henderson's still here.
Don't worry, Dino is going to be out soon as well. Because Dino scratched. None of these guys, it's just literally bring in, all they want to do is, the main thing is, let's not get on tour with no goalkeeper. That's their main thing. That's why
but also with the price, though, if they're not sure how Inter Milan are going to be in these negotiations and they can't get Onana for the price that they want to get him for, and that's the one that Erik ten Hag really, really wants, it's a big problem.
I all went away when the Inter Milan CEOs coming out like, we're expecting a bit soon. Like they're like us in terms of playing poker. They're showing their
That's
hand.
what I mean. So now we're in there knowing we can get him. So they're like, right, we can let all the rest, like Owen saying, I think now they have an indication as to, right, we know Inter Milan are going to play ball, and we know that then we can we don't have to re-sign De Gea or whatever it is with Henderson and stuff. But I just think they just, because the reason why it's taken so long is because of that. I just think of that caution of balancing how much money they got. What's going to happen with the striker? We can't get Kane. Oh, right, there's a little bit of money for it. Like, it's all robbing Peter to pay Paul with this. I know you call it the war kitty.
The light war kitty, fam.
The light war kitty, but it's still the kitty of what we was expected to spend and how difficult it was going to be to maneuver the money. That's why it's not just as easy as go and get this player, go and get that player. We're waiting for this, waiting for that. But let's get your super chats out before we move on to the next topic. Where are we at? I'm here for vibes. Shareholders. So Jim made his money. Jaden says, so the bet is on, guys. I've got the here we go. Yes, you do. So when it happens, please don't call me a crackhead or a liar. This channel is amazing. No, listen, a bet's a bet. If Mason Mount has more goal contributions, and it's contributions, it's not goals or it's not assists, it's contributions all round. It says it there. Yeah, a bet is a bet. So yeah, big up. And I'm glad you think the channel's amazing. Big up to you, Jaden. Also remember, Onana's distro is so good that even Lukaku can control the balls he pings. Man's got amazing distro. Mary J. Blige settings. WJ Barrett says, imagine all of this. I've been calling Rihanna Valderrama where when meant to call him Rene Higuita, disgracing the cheat, crazy keeper. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
No. Rene,
isn't he the one with Scorpion save? Is it that?
Oh, is that his name? Oh yeah, I always forget his name with the Scorpion save. I always forget his name. Always.
That's a mad decision to decide that, to do that Scorpion.
I know. Jeez. I know, it's mad. Like World Cup,
That's KG. That's KG in the net. That is KG.
Could you imagine KG?
KG. Literally, that is KG. This is my moment.
Absolutely. After this moment about me, fam, I'm getting for it.
Yeah, mad. SJ, been a member for 12 months. Says smash that like button, share the stream, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're still just below 500 likes. Let's push that up. We're nearly at 3K. Watching live as well. Shahil Patel with a super chat says, guys, off topic, this is far-fetched idea, but I would love if we could get Marina Granovskaya, part of the club, to do negotiations. She is wicked at the job. I don't know who she's the sporting director.
Former Chelsea director. She used to do the Chelsea transfers.
Oh, right. Okay. So hopefully, I mean, it is off topic, but we want the best in class. And the best in class and welcome at Man United. And we've got to change that culture.
Can you quickly say on Onana quickly, though, as the mentality of this player and just the all-round personality will be fantastic for the dressing room. Fantastic. Like, just him, he'll be good for us. He's got, like, you hear him talking and you think, you know what? Bring him into our dressing room. He looks like he sounds like a winner, and I like that. So, yeah.
Let's get on to Mason Mount, number 7. But just reminds me because of Mason. There was an update from Laurie Ritwell regarding Mason Greenwood, and he said that Man United preseason begins today, but Mason Greenwood will not be at Carrington as the club investigation continues. Decision on his future expected before the start of the Premier League campaign. Obviously, Manchester United are looking at sending him on loan potentially. Laurie Ritwell is basically saying that Man United like the idea of sending him on loan. So that they can see the reaction of how he can do, and there is a view to him maybe coming back. That's the latest in the news wise. But I did see yesterday. Look, you guys know the decision that we've made here at the channel that I made right when this happened. That this is a serious thing that was a legal situation, and I know now it's not legal, but I felt personally as the decision maker that it was best to say, look, we're only going to talk about this opinion based. Right, once the club have made their final decision, or once the club come out with statements, and we'll discuss it. It's going to come to a natural point where there's a definitive answer of what is going to happen to Mason Greenwood, and we're getting closer to that. And we can all have our say. So when you see mods that kind of take out some of the comments for opinions on Mason Greenwood, it's not to silence you. They're not blocking people. They're literally going off my lead of what I've said from the start about how we're going to tackle this Mason Greenwood thing. And I get it. People want to talk about it, and loads of other channels do, and that's absolutely fine for them. But what I want for this channel is everyone to feel like it's a safe space to come and not be triggered by certain issues, because it's a real life thing. And I'm not shying away from that. I'll always try to talk about things where we can, but I decided that was the tap to do from day one, and I want to see that through. I don't want to change right near the end. So our mods are in support of that, and they act off the direction off of me. So don't get onto the mods. they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're doing a great job. So when it's time to come, no one's going to get silenced. Everyone's going to have their opinion. And I know there's a lot of opinions from a football side of things on what should happen and what shouldn't happen to Mason Greenwood. But as of now, please just respect the mods and the community with how we've decided as a channel to do that. Big up people, big up everyone. Right, Mason Mount gets the number 7.
I did want to.
Let's go.
Well, again, my initial reaction, because I can't lie, I did the stream yesterday, and literally just as I finished it, that came out that he was given number 7, and I do think you should listen to sometimes your initial reaction, because it kind of does tell the truth sometimes a little bit about you, doesn't it? And as soon as I saw it, I went, I can't. I was really surprised by that. And I've seen people say, it's just a number. It's not just a number. Like, other clubs, it is just a number. At Manchester United, there is a big legacy that goes with it, going all the way back to people like George Best, obviously Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, Ronaldo, Beckham, etc., etc., etc. But one thing I don't agree with, people go, it's got to be a flair player. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be a flair player. Look at Brian Robson, okay? Captain, fantastic midfield. Not saying that's what Mason Mount is going to be. But me personally, I'd have rested it for a year. I'd have parked it to one side, leave it vacant. Let's see what kind of season Alejandro Garnacho has. If he has a fantastic season, it kind of felt like he might have been the heir apparent to it. And then next season, you give it to him. That's what I kind of felt like. At the moment, it's too soon. I can also understand United's point of view from a commercial perspective. They're going, but we can't go a season without having a number 7. We've got shirts to sell and all that kind of stuff. And I know it's a Glazer thing, but it's a football thing as well. I just wouldn't have given it him. I don't think he needs that added pressure. I respect him being like, I'll put it up. Yeah, I don't care. I'll put that on my shoulders. No problem. I respect that Eric Ten Hag, by all accounts, it was his decision. And his declaration of how badly he wanted Mason Mount. I want you so badly, I'm giving you number 7. And what would it have said about Mason Mount if he'd have gone to Eric Ten Hag? I can't take that. I can't have the number 7. He'd be like, I'm not sure if I can have you at this club then. If you don't have that kind of thing. So I get it. I wouldn't have given it him. I wouldn't.
KG, the most ironic thing about this is obviously on Tuesday, what we were talking about, literally polar opposite opinions, but we were all in the same, like everyone else, that Man United's next number 7 will be Garnacho. It was a matter of when, not if. And we all got knocked for 6, not for 7. When that came out yesterday, like we just couldn't believe. Like usually there are leaks galore of things like that happening, but up until maybe 15, 20 minutes before, Owen said to me, a couple of accounts claimed it, but really across the board, that was not on the cards. After we spoke about what we spoke about, be honest, when you saw, well, I rang you, didn't I? But after you stewed on it and that, because we were both busy at the time. When you stewed, now you've stewed on it. Like, what are you saying? Do you care? Is it a big deal?
Now, you know what it is here, and Owen kind of alluded to it just earlier. It's all about Ten Hag. Did you see how excited Ten Hag was when he was talking to Mason? He couldn't wait.
It's just like he's a big player. He's good. He's doing it loads. Yeah.
He was doing all of that, and I goes, we thought that he was just going for this guy because he was available. No, this is Ten Hag's priority. This was a rule, like it wasn't like a normal signing. Ten Hag seriously wants this player. So we have to take all of that into account and just understand and believe, well, that's his guy. That's his one. That's the one that he believes is going to be something great and special for the club. Now, I know when Sir Alex gave Ronaldo the number 7 shirt, he just saw it and thought, yep, it's going to be you. For Ten Hag, he's looked at how he's had a year with the team and said, you're going to change everything here. And like before, even I remember many times in the history of Man United, even when, let's say when we got rid of Roy Keane and Michael Carrick came to this club. I think it was just Michael Carrick. And it's like, hold on, Carrick to replace Roy Keane. Are you lot insane? Carrick, wonderful servant for the club. In that position, like it was so important. Now, completely different to what we've had in the past. But then the manager made a decision, he went with it, and he got his just rewards. I now believe in this situation that the manager will get his just rewards. All Mason Mount needs to do is show up and put numbers on the board. That's all that needs to happen. people will forget about the number. They'll forget about the shirt because it's been in disrepute anyway. The shirt has not looked the way it's need to look for a long time. So for me, where I stand right now is I'm comfortable because my manager's really excited about this player. Now, if it doesn't work, it's gonna be something that they use. It's like the rod that they're gonna use to beat the manager with, saying, and you gave Mason Mount the number 7 shirt. But well, time has to tell. At the moment, I'm excited the manager's got his main target.
Yeah, I've calmed down since my initial thing. And my initial thing was just more shock as opposed to we're a disgrace, we don't learn. Why has he got the 7? Like, it wasn't that. I think it was a mix of emotion of mentally, I was still in a place where I thought it was going to be Garnacho because we was literally just talking about it for an hour the day before and in general. So I just didn't see that coming. And secondly, I just didn't like at the time, like instantly, it's just a number. I just don't, with our club and what it means. I'm old school dinosaur, whatever you want to call it, but like that shirt means something at Man United. And for me, just because people have come and butchered it, like Alexis Sanchez and Di Maria and Depay and Valencia was a fantastic servant to the club. Michael Owen butchered it. Valencia was a fantastic servant to the club, but you know he wasn't the 7 that, like, you know, of the rest of the successful 7s. Just because those guys have butchered it in recent years, I don't like the fact that we're just saying that it should just mean nothing now. It doesn't matter. We should still have like a certain want to try and gear up to restoring that shirt. So we shouldn't be giving it out willy-nilly. So that was my initial kind of thoughts on it, that I'm uncomfortable just saying, just a number, whatever. Like DNA at Man United means something. Like the fact that we have young players coming through the academy to still represent the club means something. That might not mean something to Chelsea. They've just sold us their youth prospect, who won everything for them. Not everything, who won significant trophies for them. Like, but at Man United, if Rashford did that, it would hurt because that means something to our club. So the 7 means something to us. But I am not, now, I'll be honest, I can take a step back now and I'm like, you know what? It does say a lot about Mason Mount. It does say a lot about how much Ten Hag actually wanted this guy, you know? And it does say a lot about the Glazers and Man United, which we already know, which is, listen, we're not really in this marquee thing right now. We ain't getting a Kane and all these things. We still have to sell shirts. And 7, Mount, kids will want 7. Like, 7's the number. People will buy the shirt. They will. So, like Owen's saying, from a marketing perspective, we can't just keep having it vacant with nothing. You probably got Adidas banging down the line and contracts, people saying, listen, what's going on with this? Someone needs to have it. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm not as taken aback as I was at the beginning, but I still like, wow, I just didn't expect it. But it's not something that I think he's going to, I don't think he's going to be awful in it. I don't think, you know, Mason Mount.
I think he was just surprised, wasn't it?
To be better than Sanchez, Depay, and flipping Owen, won't he?
I think it was just, I think no one expected that. I think that was the thing too. I think, whilst people didn't maybe think that Garnacho was going to get it, there was just this feeling that definitely Mason Mount wasn't going to get it. You know what I mean? There was this whole, he's going to come in, he's going to be 19, Varane's going to be 4. Like, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. And I think it caught people really off guard. And I really do, and this isn't just fence sitting, I really do understand everyone's different perspectives on this because
there is no right or wrong answer with this.
Because to younger fans, they would be like, well, from my perspective, not many recent number 7s have been that good, and it's not even that big deal. To older fans, they look at it and they go, no, it's iconic, and it is more just than a number. And to some people,
what do you think Kenny would think? What do you think Kenny would think?
Oh, he would say it's an iconic shirt number. You know, he'd be like, you know, best and all that kind of stuff.
From the yesteryear of what it really
I mean, look, I think this kind of sums it up perfectly. Like, the poll's been in the chat for 3 minutes, and I changed it a little bit because I put initially agree, disagree, and then I put indifferent because I think some people I don't really care, and it's literally a 3-way split almost. You know, it disagree just kind of edges it out, but agree 32%, disagree 36%, indifferent 32%, and that kind of just sums up that everyone's just a bit like, everyone's got their different opinions on this one.
Yeah. It's equally split. And to be honest, like KG said, he starts scoring and stuff like that. Playing well. We just move on. So we're not going to make a big thing of it. I think it was a big thing yesterday because of the shock. It is what it is now.
Let's be honest. If Ronaldo wasn't here, I think Sancho would have got the number 7 shirt, and what would that look like? It would have been another one of.
So he wouldn't have got it this year.
No, I'm saying when he was come to the club and the shirt wasn't available, so he done that you know, what do you do? What's Sancho's number?
25.
25, 2 plus 5.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So Sancho potentially could have been the number 7 and it would have been terrible.
Oh, right. If it was just vacant and he just got it. Yeah.
It's like, end of the day, the player has to turn up and then make and cook. And hopefully, because we all want him to do well. Right now, he's here now, isn't it? What do you want it? Do you want him to fail? Just to be like, see, he told you should never get
exactly. You've got to get behind the manager. Let's get to the super chats and finish off the rest of the topics really quickly. Shahil says, on a WJ Barrett says, these people who are screwing about the number 7 and Eric Ten Hag decision are the same ones that was singing Ollie at the wheel. In Eric Ten Hag, I trust, and we owe him that. Shahil says, I think it's PR from the club. This guy is good looking. Maybe it's for shirt sales and modeling in the future. David Beckham regen. Fans are sentimental to 7. Wesley says, was not proper excited that he got the 7, but I'll back him and hope he does well. If he asks for it, good on him. Having the confidence to wear it. Yeah, I think I'm where Wesley's at. Paul Ross says, if we get the right striker, Mount will get assists. Yeah, okay. Roosh been a member for 10 months. Roosh says, why didn't they just give the number 7 to Wout Weghorst? The value of the 7 has been abolished.
Hey. That's
I know. GJE says, loads of pressure on Mount to wear the 7. It means Eric Ten Hag sees him as vital. I rate Mount. Had the guts to wear it. I'm here for double M7. Let's go. I like that double M7. I do like that. And Witterbird says, who is your favorite all-time number 7? Just really quickly.
Cantona.
Mine is Cantona because that's why I support Man United. From him kicking the fan in the face. When I saw that, I'd start supporting Man United.
David Beckham, man. David Beckham. Yeah. Like, again, you could.
Okay.
You know when he's on a corner, you're like, we're gonna score. Like just I knew it. Like we're gonna score. Like it's gonna be perfect. David Beckham.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Fair play. 2 more signings, Owen.
Yes, a little bit of an update on Rasmus Højlund and Sofian Amrabat as well. It's being reported this morning by The Standard that after resolving their goalkeeper situation, Manchester United will then look to sign a striker, with Atalanta's Rasmus Højlund topping their shortlist of forward targets. Though it is unclear whether United will be able to sign 2 major players without either securing a windfall from player sales or a potential takeover going through, amid ongoing concerns about historic FFP performance. When it comes to Amrabat, it was reported yesterday by La Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy, who have been covering a lot of Manchester United transfer news recently. Manchester United have, quote, already reached an agreement with Sofian Amrabat's entourage, but have not yet made an offer to Fiorentina. They could be convinced with an offer of £25 million. So they're sort of saying that those 2 deals are there. The biggest thing, though, is what we kind of know, which is FFP and finances. But it's certainly interesting that once we get this goalkeeper situation sorted with Onana, it's Højlund and possibly Amrabat too. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, and also just with a quick outgoing, because I know we won't get time because it's mixed in with everything. Jamie Jackson did say earlier about Harry Maguire, about exits. We know we want to know about that. He said Ten Hag and Harry Maguire are open to the defender parting ways, yet Maguire's increased pay means he will measure any prospective move against the potential loss of earnings, as well as weighing up whether it would be the correct football decision. Harry Maguire's salary increase as a result of Man United qualifying for the Champions League is making it more challenging to sell the defender. Owen, what did I say yesterday? Remember, I literally said, to be honest, he'll probably be on more because we got the Champions League. And this is Sancho, all of them are going to be on a little bit more. That's probably in all of their contracts. And this is what we're talking about. You know, Ten Hag picking up the ruins of all the shit before. We've got a defender who's the captain, who's on big money, who hasn't played, big money, who hasn't played, who automatically gets a salary increase because the team reached the Champions League, which he wasn't even part of it.
And I might as well actually tie in this McTominay last story into that, and we can just discuss it in one bit. So Gianluca Damasio is also saying that Roma hold an interest in Scott McTominay. Jose Mourinho has always been a great admirer of the player. So those 2 players there, Maguire, McTominay, they could maybe be the people that you get rid of, maybe to offset and actually have an Amrabat and a Højlund come in. But as you mentioned, the Maguire one looks quite difficult to do, doesn't it?
He's good. All right, check this out. Maguire will go, though. Maguire's gonna realize, he's gonna go. He wants to play football. He's getting old. Like, when does he? What did he sit down for the? How long's his contract? I swear he's got like 2 to 3 years left.
Yeah, he's got
2 years. I think it is
at least 2.
Like, he's not gonna sit down for 2 years, like just because.
But KG's got nothing to prove.
Oh no, he wants to play football. As the season gets going and he's just in the stands with that big jacket and that, it's not the life that you want to live as a football player. He should. What
if Gareth's saying to him, "Mate, I'm picking you regardless, don't worry."
He can't. There's no way. Gareth said, "I can't keep doing this." You know when someone says that in a relationship,
I can't keep doing this.
I can't keep doing this. It's so funny.
I can't go on like this, Harry.
He needs to go, bro. No, Maguire's going.
He might not, man. He might not. I'm telling you now. You know what? You know because do you know what? Do you know what it is, KG? Like,
come on, talk to me.
I agree. He has to, of course, for all of what we're trying to say, but we forget, man, this side of football that we don't always remember as fans, and that is just the bag and taking care of what it is. Like, 1 more year left on this money. I'll have to sit out. Might miss the Euros. I'm not saying that it's a good thing. And some players value that higher. No, I have to play. I can't not be at the Euros, man. I don't care. I'll take the wage cut. But some players don't care. Some players are like, listen, it's only down from here. I'm staying at Man United as long as I can. Let me even try and get to January and see where I'm at then. Like, let me just see. Let me just dig my... Because, like, once you come down from this money, you're not seeing that money again. Think if it was you, Be honest. Think of the P's versus the success of being a stand-up comedian, You're on Def Comedy Jam, You're on the roster. You're on the biggest thing, or live at the Apollo, whatever it is, And your bag's nice. You got the 4-year deal, guaranteed money, And if they sell you or whatever, they've got to pay you out, or you got to like take a salary cut or whatever, So the family's nice. You'll base your new life off of this new 4-year contract, 5-year contract, big bags. Def Comedy Jam are like, boy, we're gonna probably have to move you on to like Comedy Central instead or something. I don't know. Like, we're gonna just got to do something else because you got to take less, quite a significant amount less as well. It's not really happening.
I'm listening.
So you got a choice to make. Do you want to just stay here because you're still going to be in and around it? You're not going to get as much shows, but your P's is going to be your lifestyle is going to be exactly the same. Right. Or do you want to get more limelight, do more shows and stuff on a different outlet, but you're going to be in considerable less money? Might have to move house.
All right, cool.
Get a smaller house.
Check this out. Early in my career, it's not all. Early in my career, Shadrach days, I was they wanted to sign me to Dirty Stank, Dizzy Rascals label. To do some comedy and stuff. Great, everything was, and this is Dizzy Rascal, boy in the corner. This is proper. Well, no, because they couldn't. I wasn't getting. I wasn't getting the opportunity to show myself. So I was a part of a great little entourage, and it looked cool and it felt nice, and was getting free clothes and stuff. But I'm not in the game for free clothes. I want to perform.
But that was to go up. This is coming down.
No, this is what I'm saying. But I'm saying, well, I had to go back. Because they said, oh, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we know everyone. No, bro. I want to perform. So if you said to me, Rob, be at Def Jam and everyone else is performing and you're just sitting in the stands, take me to Comedy Central, bro. I believe in
when you've already had a taste of it and your lifestyle now reflects this because you're
bro.
Okay, all right. And that's good. So that means you're proving that you want the
of course. Because I know that it's a step backwards, but it's a step backwards to go forward. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
End of the day,
and that should be the choice, but I'm saying not every player thinks that. Hence why you get players who sit there on the P's. Hence why you get players who sit there and run their contracts down all the time.
Think about it. Look how this channel was. What you call it? You said you want to start something new. I said I'm coming. And then I was on a big channel, bro.
So, 0. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're literally proof of like what you should do. Some people don't do it. Some people don't do it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's not me, bro.
Yeah, fair play. So
Harry Maguire, I think, will utilise, as I've said, the Jesse Lingard loophole, which is he stays this summer and in January he goes out on loan so he can play at the Euros. That's what I think his mindset will be. That's what I think he'll do. I think he'll get. He won't play. He won't play for the first half of the year. Then he'll get the call from Southgate. You've got to go out on loan in January, and then he goes, right, I can keep my contract that I'm currently on. I don't know who's going to pick bits up of it. Doesn't matter. I'll go out on loan. I'll have 6 months playing in the Premier League where I play. Doesn't even matter if I play well or not. I'm playing. Next thing you know, Gareth goes, yeah, he's playing, so I can pick him. That's what he's going to do.
But the loan situation's like, that's a bad one for me. That helps absolutely no one apart from Harry Maguire, obviously. Like, it just...
Which is why he's going to do
it. No way. It's time to go.
Alone. Oh, my God.
No, it's honestly, Harry Maguire, it's time to go. He's got to look at himself. You're getting... someone at his age should want to play regular first team football. There's a chance of England, there's a chance of all these things. And you know what it is? Southgate's probably hurt us with continually picking him. So now he thinks, you know what? I'll still be fine internationally. No, bro. Move and play football. It's a disgrace. It is a disgrace. And it goes into showing his mentality. So then after you think, that's why I don't want you at the club. Because look what you're willing to sit by and allow. At least Henderson, and I don't even like Henderson that much, but at least he's got something about him that says, you know.
Speaking of Henderson, by the way, some really just sort of breaking news as we sort of wrap up here. Samuel Lutkers from the Manchester Evening News is talking about the goalkeeping situation at United, saying that United are open to signing 2 goalkeepers this summer if they don't re-sign David De Gea. Onana is the main target, but they do intend to sign a backup option if they are unable to agree a renewal with David De Gea. But this is the key thing. We spoke about Henderson and his departure, how much money we're going to get. He's also saying that Manchester United are expected to sell Dean Henderson amid interest from Nottingham Forest, who are prepared to pay a fee of around £30 million.
That's amazing money.
That's more like it. That's more like it.
If we sell Dean Henderson for 30 M's, yeah, you have to start saying, finally, we're starting to sell a player for what it should be. 30 M's is
I call him a great seven at the club. I call him a great seven. I call Dean Henderson the great seven.
Yeah, because to get 30 million for him, it would be.
Yeah, even if we get 30 M's to Dean Henderson, I don't want to put that much past him. I'll probably, if we beat them like 3-0, that'll be fine for me. Before I wanted to hit him with 7, 8, you know. But if we go to 30 million, yeah, 3 getting past him is fine.
30 mil. That's basically Onana in that. Like, remember what I was saying, Owen? I was saying it between 2. If you get rid of David De Gea, that you save the 19.5 million, and you get rid of Dean Henderson, and at the time I think we might have even said between 15 and 20. I think we might have said, like, it's the majority of your Onana situation. If we could get him for 30 million, it's almost like for like, almost.
Hey, then guess what? Let me say something crazy. Kane's back on the table.
Guys, thank you for watching. Exactly. Thank you for watching, guys. Is it still crazy to... All right, here you go. Let's get these out. V33 says the hand he is being dealt with. Eric Ten Hag sure as hell can't give the number 7 a crap. Ask him at the press flex. Personally, on-field results is the main aim. Dan says, isn't it crazy to think we are still in the dark about Takeover? Like, all deals under them, the fun is taken out of it if you grow numb to it. So poor. Yeah, that is what is going on. Lil Yo-Yo says the Ghanaian MP spoke facts. Economical Maguire. Shake my head. Yeah, that was mad. And Noor says, I think we need to also look at the fact that Mason Mount looked up to Ronaldo. It's all good. Sancho wanted the number, but psychologically, was he ready for that? And the answer, obviously, clearly is no. So smash a like on the video. We got just over 600 likes. That was decent in the end. We'll be across all of the Takeover stuff. If anything else changes, we'll be at it. If there's any news, transfers, bids, we will be at it. And I know that we are on our way out, exiting, and we are out.